Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're at the downtown Los Angeles Arts District. They have all these cool murals and graffiti, and this girl wanted to take pictures here. I'm moving the camera a little too fast, sorry. I was filming with my phone just to show you the surroundings I have to work with. There's sun everywhere except where the buildings are making the shade. So there's this nice table over there. I had hoped that the girl got there early so I can get her to eat some pie right there. So we had to improvise because they got there 30 minutes late, and so it only had 30 minutes to take photos instead of an hour. Here I'm taking you right behind the scenes here. What I see is what you see. I have it centered in the middle. I'm adjusting my exposure so I can get the right exposure. Get a few shots of the surrounding area before she comes. Nice kitty mural there for you cat lovers. So here's a girl. She's turning 15 soon, and we're taking a few shots, and we really had to hurry here because, like I said, we only had 30 minutes. I had brought my off-camera light, but decided not to use it since they were late, and using the light may take up more time to set it up and get the right exposures. So I'm using all natural light, which actually worked out because there's so much shade and it looks so nice. Shooting like this, like you're shooting into a brighter background, I don't mind that so much. It's not, too bright in the back compared to the front, so it's not like it looks so strange and blown out. I'm getting as many shots as I can here. Look that way. Look at me. The point of shooting here, though, is the murals. So doing this, where everything is so out of focus, it's nice, but you want to be able to get more of the mural shots as well, which we did. I'm using my Nikon Z6, the Ninja Atomos V, to get all this BTS footage. Right here I switched to not single point, continuous, and face tracking as she's walking towards me, but mostly I have it on single point. You'll notice I have it at 1.8. I like to shoot pretty much wide open, and I have the shutter speed up high enough to compensate. I could have had the ISO at 100. I don't know that makes a big difference for me having it at 200, but it's fine this way. So here you see open shade, super easy to take photos. I just expose for people's faces. This is what's important to me, and everything else should line up, and it does, don't you think? So we spent a few minutes in front of this wall, and then we went to, while we were doing that actually, her mom went to go buy a couple pieces of pie so we can get these kinds of shots. We found this table that was in the shade. That's important. I know that there's ways to take photos when they're in the sun. That's not really how I do things. I like this soft light more, not the harsh light. So we're getting a bunch of shots. Look there, look that way. Generally don't like to have pictures of people eating, but this is a pie at the Republic of Pie, so we got a few here and there. Look, get some wide shots. Had they gotten there earlier, this sliver of light to the right bottom side would have not been there because the shadow casted would have been a little bit bigger. There's people, I'm sure you photographers out there know you have to kind of work around the people around you. This shoot is pretty easy. Whenever you just use natural light, really it's all about finding the pleasing backgrounds. Find the background you like, whether it be lit up or super blown out or whatever it is, but find the background, get your exposures correct, and your composition comes next. Make sure your lines line up. I know it can be really tough with buildings because you want your line to go up and you want your lines to go sideways, so you want it all to look nice and pleasing, and it's really tough with all these lines going across and up and down. Here you'll see I have it at 3.5, the aperture. Why I don't have it at 1.8 or 2.0, it barely makes a difference to me. It's not like I want to get the shallow depth of field for the background here. She's so close to it that I think that even if I had it at 2.0, you could still make out that it's the pie hole that we're taking photos at. So 3.5 is good. It's a good aperture to get good sharpness out of the pictures. So that's why I had it here. Get some fun candid ones. By the way, the mom really loved these photos. She can't wait for the actual day now, and I can't either because they're doing theirs at this place called Reptacular Ranch, which I've shot at so many times before. I'm a preferred vendor there. I love it there. It's super easy. So you see all these murals and there's cars, and this is basically the only angle that I had where I could photograph her and not get the cars. I always go to my shoots with two cameras, and that's because, you know, if one fails, you really don't want to have to tell a client, we need to reschedule after they spent all that time getting ready. I think this girl got up like at 6 in the morning, they told me. This shoot was supposed to be at 10 and ended up starting at 10:30. So yeah, I have two cameras on me. One has the 85 mil on it, which is the one I'm shooting with right now. And then I have a 35 mil. The 35 is the Sigma Art. I love that lens, and the 85 is the 1.8 version of the Nikon lens, which I think is great and well worth the money compared to the 1.4. The 1.4 might be a little better in some ways, but nah, the 1.8 is totally worth its money. So I'm taking shots of the murals with the 1.8 and the 35, the 85 and the 35. Right here is the 85, but I'm really far back. I'll switch it up to the 35 in a second. I tend to, there you go. I tend to like apertures of 50 and up, not apertures, focal lengths of 50 and up, and not do the wide as much. It's something that I constantly kind of struggle with. I know photographers out there have their preferred lenses, and I definitely have mine, but I'm trying to get out of that comfort zone and use the 35 more, or my 14 to 24, which I hardly ever use. For those of you that live in Los Angeles or close by, this whole area, it's called the Arts District. It's pretty cool. They have all these murals, and we only got to go on basically one street because we only had 30 minutes. My plan was to kind of walk several streets because they had different kinds of murals, but yeah, we didn't get that chance, but that's okay because the ones that we did get to, I think, are the nicest ones, and they're pretty close together. The other ones, the other murals are more spread out. But so this kind of stuff is important to this girl. So this is why they chose this place, and here we are. So when taking these photos, you'll notice, look at the bottom part of the frame, my composition. I'm getting it right above that line where it gets really bright because the sun's hitting it. I try to not get the sun as much in the pictures because then you'll have a specific part of the picture that's super blown out, and I really didn't want that. See, I'm getting it right above, right where the sun is. Same thing here, getting it right above the sun so that there is no blown out part of it at the bottom. Maybe at the top there's a little bit, but that's okay. This is a little different than what I'm normally gonna do. I'm shooting into the sun. I never do this, but you know, I thought I would try it just to get this shot. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got this wide shot of the mural, and I wanted to get it. And here this girl is showing us how she feels about that guy right there. Sometimes, like for this shot, that shot, you see how I just said I don't want to get the sun in the picture. Well, the sun's in that picture, and I got it, and that was the only way to get that shot. So I got it. I don't shy away from getting it if it's not what I want perfectly, but you know, I try and get it as close. This is another, let me see if this works kind of shot. I don't know that it quite worked. walking towards me with a 35 mil. Maybe it worked. It's a different kind of perspective. In retrospect, I might have done that with the 85, which, oh, here you go. I actually did use the 85 to get this kind of different focal length to the shot. Get the murals in the foreground, a little bit blurry. I'm at 1.8. The background is blown out a little bit because it's brighter than where she's standing, but it doesn't look too bad. I just brought down the highlights using Capture One Pro. Oftentimes I turn pictures into black and white. I make a copy of it. It's super easy. It takes literally like a few seconds, so I got it. Here I'm using the 35 mil and I'm at 4.5. I probably want to just get more in focus since it's not like I can blur out the background or want to blur out the background. You see there's a car right there. It's tough to get some of these shots sometimes because there's cars in front of these murals, but you know, you do what you can. I'm raising it up the composition to not get the hood of the car. So I'm getting this shot with the angel wings. There's a lot of opportunity for photos here. If you had come in the afternoon, this mural would have been in direct sunlight, so that's why I like coming here during the morning. I wish we had started earlier because the sun would have been at a lower angle and I would have had more shade and I would have been able to work with more of it easier, but this was actually pretty easy. Here you can tell this mural isn't the sun, so I'm changing my exposures. You can just see I did that, and I'm trying to just get everything right. It's never gonna look 100% right because I mean they're literally in the sun, and you make it look the best you can. What we were doing is just going from mural to mural basically, in as much time as fast as possible because it was almost time for me to go to my next shoot. So look, this angle, it actually works, it looks nice, but it was the only angle that I had because of cars. So we wanted to come back to this mural and get this crossing your arms, like strong pose shot next to this mural that's very significant, and it means a lot to her and to a lot of people. So yeah, we wanted to take some more photos in front of it. It's a really beautiful piece actually. I really like it. Even the iron rod fence here, it looks nice. There's a piece of paper behind there. You can see it, right? I didn't want to remove it. That's rude. So I try to get her to cover it up. Right there, it's not covered up, but I got her to move and cover it up for me. She had some movement in the shots, and sometimes it appeared. I just didn't edit those. I edited the ones where the paper was covered, like there. You know, one day when I'm making these videos, I'm going to remember to ask you guys to subscribe early on in the video. It really means a lot to me. I work really hard on these videos. I mean, can you imagine carrying the Ninja Atomos V on location for every single shoot? That's a lot of work. My arm's gonna get super strong, but it's worth it. I like these shots a lot, and I want you to see what I see. I had the lens cap on, you see, and she's walking away, taking these shots. Look how cool that is. You can see actually me moving the shutter speed, the exposure, moving it around, trying to get the right exposure. The right exposure to me is going to be the one on that's going to show her face correctly. Not too dark, not too bright. Everything else will have to line up accordingly. But here you go. There's the sun behind her, and it's kind of hitting the top of her head there. You can see. That looks all right, so long as it's not on her face. For you photographers out there, I'm not sure how you do things. I think eventually what I want to do is just book one shoot a day and that's it. I often tend to book 3 to 4 shoots a day, go from one spot to another to another to another. maybe you can call me a workaholic, but I like to maximize what I can do in a day. But it's really stressful because, people tend to be a little late sometimes. It's understandable, I get it. Sometimes that happens to me, although I try not to let it happen. But going from one place to another, it's a lot of work. I love what I do though, and I have so much footage for so many shoots that I can bring back to you and show you how I do things and why I do things, why I'm shooting where I'm shooting, the sun, placement, everything. Like, I can show you, I can talk to you, talk to me, subscribe, and I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, guys? Thanks.